De La Riva pass is very common open guard these days, is De La Riva guard. So the outside leg wraps around. Now it can be shallow on our leg here, or it can be right the way through to our far leg here, okay? Either way, it doesn't really matter, but what we need to be aware of is them turning our knee in with that De La Riva hook. So if he gets his hook in here, if he's able to put pressure this way, then it's much more likely that he's going to sweep, stand up, take my back, submit me somehow, all these sorts of things. So my main focus when I'm in De La Riva, apart from grips, postural control, base, all the usual elements of passing, the really big takeaway is not having our knee turned in. We always want to be turning it out. But obviously you get people who are going to turn your knee. So we're going to we'll cover like a knee pointing out, best case scenario. We'll do sort of a normal sort of case scenario, and then we'll do a worst case scenario as well. And then we've got something for all options. So in this position here, he's got his De La Riva hook in. This leg is usually either on my hip, my leg. It might be like a Della Spider where he's got the grip here. Okay, he could be holding, it could be back here. He could have like a Della X guard sort of thing, like that. He can have collar grips, sleeve grips, pant grips. There's so many variations on this guard. Again, principles are principles. Okay, posture, grip fighting, base, and then his knee position here. Okay, so if they've got our head down like this, we need to then drop our hips down so that our head and our hips aren't in line like this, because now it's very easy for him to Tominagi, sweep me, all these sorts of things. So obviously I want to break that. But if Milton's sort of moving me around a little bit here, I need to be controlling something so that I'm not just going to fall. So I don't necessarily want to straight away devote all my resources to this, and now my base is off and then I get swept. So you have to sort of pick your moment. A way you can help do that is to fight the pants or the collar and then try to drop your hips and posture. So now I'm in good posture even though I'm much lower. Now it's not foolproof obviously, but this sort of low base position is much better than this. And you can just see that. Okay, so I want to straight away come, now that I'm down here, now I can start trying to break that, and then I can come back up. Okay, now I'm in a much better position. Now, addressing this hook here becomes super important. So I've got my grip's broken now, I've got my posture, I've sort of got my base, I'm controlling the legs. I want to worry about this. There's a couple ways that you can do that. A really easy one is to combine pushing down on their leg with actually straightening your knee. Okay, so if I'm here and Milton's got that, the more bent I am, the easier it is for him to make a hook. So what I want to do is I want to force my leg straight as my hips go back, but at the same time I'm going to be pushing his knee out. So I'm sort of in this position here, and I go, hop. And now in this position here, I want to open my shin out, okay, that way. So now when Milton tries to get his De La Riva hook, it's way harder. Okay, now I'm in a much better position to start to pass, because he doesn't have that, all right? So he's got a hook, he's got any grip control. If he's got my collar again, address the base and the posture first, break, and then come up. Okay, so now I'm going to pop my hips back as my knee straightens, and I'm going to force this knee down here. Now, I'll go through a couple of different passes. In this position here, depending on what this leg's doing, will usually determine which way I pass. So right now, if he has a hook behind my knee, I'm going to pass that side, because this leg isn't stopping me moving that way. It is stopping me moving that way. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to pass this side, because he's hooked here. But I can pass over there. If his leg's on my hip here, I'm not going to be able to pass that way, so then I'm going to have to pass this way. Okay, so you sort of have to adjust depending on what they're doing. So just get your grips again with your hook. So I'm sort of here, my knees kind of neutral. Okay, I'm going to address my posture first, break, and then get rid of the hook. Okay, now, if his leg's on the outside here, which is very common, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start to drive down over his leg. So I'm trying to push his leg down to the floor so that hook sort of becomes worthless. Okay, he can't really make a De La Riva hook now. Okay, it doesn't really have any strength. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under his leg as I drive my shin over the top. So I'm trying to hike this leg up. Now I can cross face, hold the shoulder, or even better, hold the lat. And now I'm going to back step, pulling my leg out. As soon as I'm here, take my hand out. I don't want to leave it in where there's a risk of getting triangled. I can either grab his bottom leg with my hand and push them that way as I pass, or once I let go, I can just block his hip and then change my base here, and then I can worry about fixing up my position. Okay. So this is if we can beat the De La Riva hook. So he's got the De La Riva in, he's broken down my posture here, he's moving me around. Before I pass, I want to make sure I've got all my elements. Posture, I've got good base, I break the grip. Now as I posture up, pop your knees straight and push. Here. Okay, now you can back step a little to give yourself space to come under that leg. Drive my shin over. Control the head. Ideally, you want to be trying to reach up under his lat here. If you can't get it, that's okay. Just grab the shoulder. You're trying to pull him in close. Head attached, because he's going to be doing what Milton's doing now, which is framing. He wants to push me off. So this is kind of a bit of a slow position here where I'm just grinding. Back step. Head down. Don't fall here, up like that. Because if Milton cross faces, if he makes a frame with his hands and now he gets his head on the inside, he's going to come up. Yeah, so it's an easy, easy sweep. So once I back step, I need to be in here. Head down. Now again, I can take my hand out and grab either of the legs, and as I switch my legs, drive, or I can just put my hand on the floor. So once more. So our opponent has De La Riva guard, they're controlling our posture, our base. I'm going to lower my hips so that I have good posture. Try to break the collar grip. Now I break the De La Riva hook, popping my hips. Back step to get an angle to come under the leg as I drive in. And ideally I want to get that nice and high up here. Now I grab so that I can cross face, try to reach the lat and pull them in. Head attached. Now I back step. Now as I take my leg out, I drive their legs away. Put my knee on the hip to make it hard to re-guard. And then I get my side control for my pass. Last pass we did, we went deep under this leg as we dropped our shin across. Okay? This time, once we've stuffed that bottom hook, so it's very hard, like I said, once his knees are pointing over there, it's very hard to get the De La Riva hook back in place. So I want to keep that pressing down here. Now, my other hand, I'm going to do a leg drag with this leg here. For me, I like to turn my hand palm up and I come underneath the pant grip here. So I'm not going fingers inside, remember that's illegal for competition. So I'm making a hook grip like that, but I'm doing it underneath his pants here. Okay, so I've broken the grips, popped off the De La Riva hook. I'm going to circle my hand under and grab his pants here. Now I'm going to throw my hips forward, and as I do it, I throw his leg in front of my body. I want to keep my shin here driving to the floor. Okay. Now I'm going to let go of the first pant grip, not this top one. I keep that one there. Because at this point here still, Milton's first defense is to try to get that leg back in between us, push off, make space, get his guard back. So I'm here, I've opened up the guard, I come under, throw my hips as I lean back. I don't want to throw his foot into my head. So I make space here, and now I drive down. Don't let your foot come in front of his thigh. Okay, you don't want that to happen there. All right, there's leg locks that can happen, but you can also just get stuck there. So I end up in this sort of position here initially. I let go of the bottom leg because that's pinned now. I don't need that hand. Okay? My other hand reaches for the bottom lapel, and I pull, and now I push his knee down with my elbow. And now I start to put my weight on. If you can, see if you can get double underhooks here. So initially we're kind of holding on, because again, he's trying to make space. Remember, when you're escaping, you're making space. So he's often framing, pushing me away, trying to move. So I just want to hold on here. If I can, double underhooks and hold the collar. Now, if I can, I try to get under the other hand, like this, and now I just walk around. And the good thing with the double underhooks is it gives me the gift wrap. So I can take the back, or I can just hold. We did the arm lock the other night. Gives you that as well. So there's a couple of different options there. Okay. So he's here, he's got my posture control, got the De La Riva hook. I get my posture, I've got my base, I'm mobile, I'm anchored. Break, get my posture, control the legs, kill the De La Riva hook. Now if I need, again, I can back step a little to get a better angle on that leg. Throw, as I lean back. Now I get close. I let go of the bottom hand, control the collar, and I'm pulling him in. And I'm using my elbow to help lock his leg in place so that he can't now open that back up. Okay, so this grip here, this elbow locks that in place there. So now when he tries to lift his leg, it's hard. That gives me the time now to come ideally under this arm. I can go in front if I just want to pin inside control. But if I want the option of the back as well, then I'm going under that arm. Here. Stay really close. Get your other underhook. Walk, walk, walk. Use your chest to get his arm into a gift wrap position. Pull the wrist in. And then you've got this arm here as well. So now you've got two options, back takes and arm attacks. All right, so once more. All right, De La Riva, posture broken. I get my posture, I've got my base, I've got control. Break the grip, pop the knee and stiff arm down so it kills that De La Riva hook. Back step slightly to come under the pant leg, and I use my whole hips. Throw. Knee drives down, let go of the bottom leg, grab the collar, and the elbow now takes over so I can let go of the leg. Under the arm to the back of the collar, under the other arm, weight down, and I use my shoulder and chest to get me into position to get the gift wrap. I can put the knee on the belly and start attacking the arm as well.